Hey, Christin here. I quickly wanted to share a message about how I became involved in Girls Club and how you can become involved too. For me, it all started back in 2012. If you'd asked me if I was passionate about women in leadership, I probably would have said no. Sure, I was a woman. Sure, I was in leadership. But I was also very young. I didn't know the impact that women in leadership could have. I didn't recognize the importance of supporting the amazing women around me. But then my world was quickly turned upside down by a mentor and amazing supporter of women in leadership, whose name is Matt Navarro. So Matt came to me and asked me to create a leadership development program for some of the women that worked for him in his retail stores. He knew that having more women in leadership could create a more collaborative team. He also knew that women were really good at bootstrapping and they could do more with less. So he asked me to create this leadership development program, and immediately I was like, whoa, no way, I can't do that. I don't have a background in training. I wasn't even passionate about leadership, women in leadership until you asked me. But once I was over that initial shock, and the fact that he would even ask me to do this was such a huge honor, I dove into the research, and I quickly found out the amazing impact that women in leadership can have on their organizations. So here's some of the things that I found. Women in leadership help companies achieve greater returns. They level diversity and they alter the outcomes of decision making in very positive ways. Women in leadership outperform their peers, often by 10% or more. The research went on to say that companies who had higher percentages of women in leadership were some of the most admired companies out there. I was completely sold. I knew that this was the type of thing that I could get involved in. I knew it's something that I could become passionate about and proudly stand behind. And I knew that it was action that I wouldn't deviate from. So over the next 12 months, we were able to partner up with some incredible mentors and proteges. We created a leadership development program to conquer some of these tough women-only issues that we face in the workplace. We created a network of women who were strong, passionate, they were driven to succeed, they were compassionate to help each other learn. But most of all, we created this group where we had commonalities and we could talk about things that weren't used to being talked about, that we weren't used to talking about in the workplace. We also conquered issues that were life-changing. You know, some people were single moms, some people were going to school full-time and still working full-time. Some people were the sole income providers for their families. Some people were trying to perfect this concept of work-life balance. And we created a safe place where we could discuss some of these issues and help each other with tips and tricks of things that we might have learned that another person could kind of take and adapt on their own. One of my biggest lessons from running this program, it was that people want to help people. We want to help each other succeed, and we want to contribute, and we want to share our stories. Across this program, we called on some incredible women at Staples throughout the organization to be able to share their stories with our group on how they became women in leadership. One of the fabulous women that we called on to come talk to our group was Amy Appleyard. From the moment I met her, I wanted to be her. I wanted to be her friend. I wanted her to be my mentor. I was absolutely in awe of some of her talents and for her to be able to shine her light on this group. So push comes to shove, we create this awesome leadership program in the West Coast. Amy comes to speak with us. It sparks a curiosity. And then Amy goes on to create a really great women in leadership program at Staples for our mid-market team. Some of the women who are involved with Girls Club today were on that initial group of women who lead. People with the likes of Shelley Caesar, Riley Doherty, Danielle Press, Steph Valenti, Kelly Mazzanti, Tiffany Riley, myself, and many, many more. We would come together to discuss these issues that women were facing, and we knew that we could have a louder voice if we were all partnering together to talk about some of this stuff. Fast forward a few years later, I ended up leaving Staples and I came to the company I work for now called OpenWorks. I remember during the interview process when I was asking Eric, who's our CEO, hey, tell me your thoughts on women in leadership. He stopped and paused and said to me, well, half of my executive team is women. So women definitely have a place at this company. Because this company is much smaller though, there wasn't this community in this sense that I got at Staples of women who lead. And so I kept searching for different things that might be out there that would fulfill that need in my life. I went to the Alumni Association at ASU. There wasn't anything. And I came up short every time I turned a corner. It wasn't until this summer that I got a call from Shelly Caesar as I was standing in the middle of a very busy airport trying to catch a flight. And she asked if I wanted to become involved in this program that they were starting up called Girls Club. And she told me a little bit about the program, that they wanted to create mentors for these proteges, for these women who were looking to get into sales leadership roles. I was completely sold all over again. I said, yes, you don't even have to tell me anything more. Count me in. I want to be involved. So with that being said, you can also get involved. Girls Club is a phenomenal program, both for inspired people who want to get into leadership, women who want to get into leadership, but also for the mentors who want to give back. For me, giving back has been one of the most rewarding things that I've done. To watch the women around me grow has been so inspiring, and hearing their stories just makes me stop and pause and say, wow, we work with and live around some of the most incredible people. So you don't have to be a woman. You can be a man. You can become a protege. You could become a mentor at Girls Club. We want to hear your voice and help have you support us in creating this world where women can thrive, where we can be successful, where we can contribute, and we can really kick ass and contribute more to the bottom line.